Hey everyone, Pete Werner here with this week's Best and Worst of Walt Disney World. I am joined on my right by Stephen Elizabeth Porter.
Hello.
And on my left by Fairy Poppins herself, Oliver Green.
Hello, everyone.
See, he talks like that, so we get away with calling him Fairy Poppins. And obviously we are not in the studio. This month our Best and Worst are coming from the Royal Asante Presidential Suite at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. There's a long story as to why that is. I'm not going to get into it. Just go with it. Okay? So today, what we're going to talk about, actually this month, what we're going to be talking about are the 5 best ways to navigate the theme parks during busier times of the year. We're recording this right now during the Christmas season, but this applies to Christmas, spring break, summertime, you name it. Pretty much any time now at Walt Disney World is a busy time. So this week we're going to focus on the 5 best ways to navigate the Magic Kingdom during busy times of the year. We're going to start with the first and probably the most obvious one of the group, which is work the Fast Pass system. And it's never more important. We can all argue whether or not Fast Passes are, the new Fast Pass system is a good thing or a bad thing. It is what it is, and it's what you have to work with. So you get 3 Fast Passes that you can book in advance, and then once those 3 are used, you can go back and get one additional one. Hard to do, honestly, hard to do during busy times, because usually by the time you use your 3 Fast Passes, there's not much remaining for the rest of the day. So,
saying that, I was just speaking from personal experience. This is something that I love since they've included this. The whole you can have more Fast Passes. On the amount of times I've been in the park on very busy days, and I've looked on the My Disney Experience app, and I've seen attractions like Barnstormer on there, which again, these aren't huge e-ticket attractions, but they're still very, very popular. So, if you're able to snap up a Barnstormer Fast Pass for that time, that immediate time, so there's no wait, you're literally just going on your phone and snapping it up straight away, and then you get in line, and you walk by these people that are waiting in a 40-minute line, and these Fast Passes are available, and nobody's bothered to look. So they are there. You've just got to check and see what is available, to be honest. So
I think what's important with this too, especially on high crowd days, is trying to get your Fast Pass scheduled a little bit earlier, so that once you do use, like if you schedule it and try to spread them out throughout the day, like you said, there probably is not going to be much or anything left, especially in later hours of the day. So I think scheduling them kind of closer together towards the beginning of the day is kind of important on crowded days.
well, that kind of plays into our second tip, which is during those really busy times at the Magic Kingdom, get there at park opening, get there for rope drop. This also, not only does it allow you to get standby on rides and pretty much have a very, very limited wait time on them. So like Seven Dwarfs, Mine Train, Space Mountain, some of the bigger rides. But also, if you are scheduling your Fast Passes for the early part of the day, get there at park opening, do some standby, utilize your Fast Passes, and then let's say in the afternoon when the park is going to be at its peak, and this is especially important in the summer when the temperatures are north of 315 degrees, then you head back to the hotel. Take a dip in the pool, take a nap, have lunch, come back to the park in the evening. So this is also kind of ties in, we'll move on to in a second, but that also ties into one of our other strategies for making the most out of busy season. But
back to rope drop, I think what people don't really understand is that not only do you get on the first attraction right away, because you're just literally walking right on, but even the first 2 or 3, even on days when the crowd's going to be busy, the lines haven't caught up because the attraction's still loading for the first maybe half hour of the day. So they're still loading, so you're not going to get those long lines until the peak hour. So that rope drop period of a half hour after opening is just so important to get. You can get 3 or 4 big attractions done.
Yeah, you can. It's very there's so many attractions out there that people will not even be able to get fast passes for, such as Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. That's the one everyone wants right now. And I always think that getting there at rope drop is like the 4th guaranteed fast pass. So obviously you can book for 3. If you get there for rope drop and you go and run to an attraction that you don't have a fast pass for, you're going to get on. You're going to get on very, very fast. Yeah. So, just you're guaranteeing yourself 4 big attractions throughout the day if you're going to get there early, if not more. So making that extra effort, and I know it's hard, you're on vacation, but making that extra effort to get out of bed to get there early for rope drop. And when we say get there early, we don't mean get there if the park opens at 9, get there at 9. No. You've got to get there at like 8:40. You've got to be there ready to go. And then beeline it straight to the attraction that you want. As soon as rope drop happens, you're going to get on. So.
And I know you say 8:40, but on some of the crazy days like Christmas Day, New Year's, 4th of July, you might want to even get there even earlier because the lines for the baggage and everything are going to be so long that, you want to be...
bag check, not baggage.
Bag check, yes. You want to be, towards the front of that group too, so maybe even earlier.
And again, factor in, we're talking Magic Kingdom right now, factor in the time it takes on a very busy day, even before the park's open, to get from the transportation ticket centre to that main entrance. It can sometimes take, up to 40 minutes to an hour if you've got to wait for a few monorails, a few ferry boats to go through before you get on there. So it's very, very important. Time is, it's a factor when you're planning to go for rope drop, because if you get there 30 minutes after rope drop, you've kind of wasted your time, So it's very important. If you're going to put the effort in and wake up early, make sure you are there on time.
On the busiest of days, plan to be at the gate, not at the transportation and ticket center, 1 hour before the park officially opens.
Yeah.
So if the park opens at 9, you want to be at the gate at 8 o'clock. So that means you're going to want to get to the transportation and ticket center around 7:30. Give yourself time to get through security and deal with the lines that tend to form for the... Although at that hour of the morning, you're going to be pretty good as far as the ferry and the monorail goes.
Yeah.
It's not going to be crazy. Get there a little bit later. I've seen it get insane. But
sorry, I was just going to drop in there as well. If you've never done it before, do it. There's a great rope drop show at Magic Kingdom. If you've never seen it, it's actually worth getting out of bed for.
Yeah. Now, we talked about, scheduling fast passes for the early part of the day, getting there at rope drop, going back to the hotel. This can also play into our next tip, which is if you're traveling during a season when they're doing special events, special parties at the Magic Kingdom, utilize that. So we're talking about specifically Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Now, you're going to spend another $70+ per person. First of all, parties are awesome. Lots of extras. Limited crowds. So that crazy crowd that was there during the day, not so much at night. Main Street gets really crazy. But once you get off Main Street into the other lands, it's a lot more manageable. So, not unusual at all. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train to go from a 2-hour standby during the day to a 40-minute standby during a party. Same is true with Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Space Mountain. A lot of times, these are short waits or no waits. Yeah. So, you can get a lot more done for that $70, plus you get to see the special parade and the special fireworks that go off. So, double bonus.
I'll also add the daytime before a party is if you're going to go to a party, I also recommend if you want to even go to that park that day, or even if you're not planning on going to the party, go to that park, because a lot of people just assume, well, I'm not going to go to the party, so let's not go to the Magic Kingdom that day.
Yeah.
And so at what's normally peak hours, like 12 to 3 in the parks, a lot of people are actually leaving because they're, the party's soon, so we're not in the party, so let's leave. So that I've been in the park and I've gotten on Space Mountain for 20 minutes because there was a party later that night. Excuse me. And people are just clearing out.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword. If you're planning on spending your whole day there and you're going to use, one of your day tickets for Magic Kingdom, you're going to essentially get less time in the park because it closes early for the event in the evening. But because of that reason, it puts so many people off. So you'll find that, generally speaking, it's a quieter day. So just get up and go early, like we said previously, if you're going to go on one of those days.
Now, one of the other tips we have for busy times at the Magic Kingdom that don't necessarily apply to the other parks is take advantage of some of the historically short wait rides.
Mm-hmm.
So you have rides, attractions like the People Mover, Carousel of Progress, Country Bear Jamboree, Hall of Presidents, that are classic Disney attractions that are usually very, very short waits. Not often are you going to see a wait time of 40 minutes for Carousel of Progress. Do you ever see?
No, I mean, I worked on the Carousel of Progress, and even on the 4th of July, people get in the first show. I mean, even on the busiest days, I've never, ever working there saw someone have to tell them, you're going to have to watch
And
that.
especially if we're talking about warmer times of the year, when you're talking about Carousel of Progress, when you're talking about a Hall of Presidents in particular, these are longer shows.
Mm-hmm.
You're seated in a theater with air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice way to cool off as well.
Also good places to take naps, too, if you're really tired. I mean, I'll just add that in there.
Yeah, if you don't want to spend the $700 on a cabana, you can do that. We won't go there. And finally, let's say you're not doing the party's not available, and you have decided to be at the park in the evening. Aim to do a lot of the more popular rides during the parade and the fireworks. The parade in particular draws an awful lot of people out of the park and onto the parade route. So the wait times at a lot of attractions do go down. However, this is a kind of well-known, I think most of these are well-known, but this is a particularly well-known strategy, so a lot of people do it. So it doesn't have the impact today, I think, that it did.
Yeah, it's a little watered
10
down.
years ago.
But, I mean, it still helps a little bit. And, I mean, if you're trying to get every single little advantage out of the day, I mean, that's just an extra little thing, if you don't know.
I would say the parade's not so much, because again, so many people know about it. Wishes still draws a huge crowd. So if you're willing to give up that experience and not watch Wishes, maybe this is your second time in, Magic Kingdom on your trip and you managed to catch it once already, that time during Wishes is a fantastic time to do the attractions, because again, it's just pulls the crowds out.
And also, after a parade and after fireworks, a lot of people start leaving the parks. So you usually have, depending on the time of year, you'll have at least an hour, if not longer, after the end of the fireworks, where the park is still open and the wait times on a lot of these rides tend to go down. So recapping again, our 5 tips for getting the most out of the Magic Kingdom, navigating the Magic Kingdom during busy times: work that Fast Pass system, be there at park opening, take advantage of any days with special events like the Halloween or Christmas parties. Don't overlook the rides with historically low wait times, and try and do the popular rides during fireworks and parades. So that will do it for this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next week with another edition of the best and worst of Walt Disney World from the Royal Asante Suite at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Have a great week.